Taurus, welcome to your monthly horoscope for May 2024. My name is Adina. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and in these monthly horoscopes, I go over the astrological energies for the month ahead and go over all of the major themes and topics you will be navigating. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you align with my energy and enjoy my content. Now let's get right into it. So, if you have not watched my horoscopes before, I do break the month down by week and I select a chart for each week to give you a bit of a visual. Now, Taurus, it's been really eventful for you. You just had that Jupiter Uranus conjunction in the first house. So, I would love to hear in the comments below how that showed up for you, what you were moving through, what you were navigating around April 20th of 2024, just a week or so ago. Now, coming into the month, we have Mars in Aries and Venus, your chart ruler, in Taurus in your first house. So when Venus is transiting the first house, sometimes we can decide to change our appearance up in some way, change our hair, change something about the self, because the first house represents the self, your character, your personality, your physical body, and your appearance. So there might be a lot more focus on you and wanting to change something about yourself, maybe even changing your needs, wants, and desires. Now, on the second, we have Pluto stationing retrograde. And also, I just want to note too, sometimes when we have Mars transiting our 12th house, because Mars rules our motivation, willpower, and drive, and the 12th house can suppress energy. And I just want to kind of note this in. Sometimes when Mars is transiting the 12th house, it's a little bit difficult to get that motivation, willpower, and drive. However, once you push yourself to do the thing, it will come much easier. And so I just wanted to throw that in there because throughout the month of May, you may find that maybe you're energetically depleted, you're having a harder time kind of getting that motivation to get up and do something. But once you do, and once you push yourself, and it's all learning how to move, it's really learning how to navigate the 12th house energy, which I'm very good at. And I'm actually creating a course on it because I have a lot of 12th house energy. But once you push yourself to do the thing, it will become more easier for you. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, on the second, we have Pluto stationing retrograde, and Pluto entered Aquarius back in January. So Pluto actually reached 2 degrees this time, which last time Pluto was in Aquarius last year, Pluto only reached, I believe it was 1 degree. Did Pluto even reach 1 degree? I can't remember. But this is the farthest Pluto has made it in Aquarius. So Pluto's going to station retrograde. Pluto is actually going to re-enter Capricorn back on September 1st and will have its last stretch in Capricorn from September 1st to November 19th. So this is more collective energies. Like I think we're going to see a lot around AI showing up at this Pluto retrograde. I think we're going to see a lot around protests, people coming together, because that's that Aquarian energy. There might be a lot with technology, things like that we're seeing. However, where it becomes a lot more personal is the first week of May, because Mars is connecting to Pluto. Now, Mars had its conjunction to Pluto back February 13th and 14th. So right around Valentine's Day of this year, Mars and Pluto came together in Aquarius. And actually, February was very eventful for Pluto and Aquarius because we had all of the personal planets connect to Pluto. So if you think back to February, what were you moving through? What were you navigating? This can have to do with career, public reputation. It could also have to do with 12th house energy, maybe escapism, self-undoing, self-sabotaging, spirituality, things in places that are hidden. Like the 12th house also rules hospitals, asylums, retreat centers, and then also karma. Karma is in that 12th house. But Mars also rules your 7th house of relationships. So this is working with multiple areas of your life. And if you think back to that time period, what you were moving through, this is like the first mini milestone to that seed that was planted kind of back in February. Whenever we have conjunctions between two planets, it's almost like a new moon with those planets and the energies with those planets. And so as the planets connect to each other around the zodiac, there's like more milestones to whatever was kind of created or started at the time of that conjunction. So that's why I'm saying, if you think back to February, what you were moving through, what was starting for you with the Mars-Pluto conjunction, that can give you an idea of what the sextile is going to bring, especially the first week of May. Now, and so that's the 3rd and the 4th is when that Mars Pluto sextile becomes exact. Again, it could have to do also with relationships because Mars is the co-ruler and Pluto is also the ruler of that seventh house. So it could really have to do with relationships and partnerships and one-on-one connections. Now on the 6th, we're going to have Mercury make its final conjunction to Chiron. So check out my Mercury retrograde video. This is the third and final conjunction to Chiron. So there has been this Mercury retrograde saga playing out. Mercury actually has connected to Chiron. This will be the third time. And Chiron has been significantly activated by that solar eclipse we had in Aries, which was conjunct Chiron exact. Now, Chiron rules our healing journey, our insecurities, our traumas, our wounds, our vulnerabilities. And so there might be something showing up on this day that you just want to be aware of. That could be a conversation that you're having to help you along your healing path, or it could be some information coming in. It could be an intuitive download. But pay attention on this day, what is showing up for you, especially around the healing process. Now, on the 7th, we have your new moon. We have the new moon in Taurus. So I always make separate forecasts and videos going into all of the new moons and full moons, but this is a time to set intentions for what you want to create and change about yourself, because Taurus rules that first house of the self. So this is your new moon. You want to make sure that you are utilizing this energy and really taking advantage of the fact that the ruler of Taurus, Venus, is in Taurus, amping up all of that beautiful energy. Now, once we get to the second week of May, on the 13th, we will have the Sun conjunct Uranus. So this can be a really beautiful day for intuition, intuitive downloads. We want to remember that Uranus does rule the electrical systems in the body. And so it could be a day where we are feeling extra anxious. But I love this for awakening and enlightenment. So it's almost like leveling up in a way of awakening and enlightenment. Something can just click very suddenly for you. It's not necessarily like, I don't look at it as a negative or challenging energy at all. I really look at it as a day to do a lot of energy work, a lot of energy healing, and you work with the energies around you intentionally. Now, on the 15th, we're going to have Mercury enter Taurus, bringing more energy and focus to you. So having Mercury in your first house, maybe you're shifting your mindset in some way. You're thinking more about what you need and the path that you want to move in. Maybe, again, adding to that, wanting to change something about yourself, whether it's physically, whether it's about your appearance, about your character, your personality, whatever the case is. There's more focus on you. Then on the 18th, we have the Sun conjunction to Jupiter and the Venus conjunction to Uranus. And because Venus is in your first house, this is taking place in your first house, and Venus is your chart ruler. I mean, May is a huge month for you, Taurus. So there's a lot of focus on you and what you want, what you need, what you desire, and the path that you want to choose, the path you want to move into, what is now in alignment with you. There's a lot of focus on these, themes and topics. So having self-awareness this month is absolutely crucial, because you want to pay attention to what is showing up for you. You want to be intentional with your thoughts, intentional with the intentions you're setting, and just being very intentional in general with how you're navigating life in this reality. When we have Venus conjunct Uranus, this can be something very beautiful coming in for you, something very sudden. Venus is also the ruler of your 6th house and that south node. So the 6th house rules your work, health, and daily routine. So there might be something also showing up in that area of life very suddenly that you're wanting to shift, you're wanting to change. Like maybe you're starting to feel, this is just an example. Maybe you're not starting to feel the greatest and you're like, you know what, I have to focus on my nutrition habits. I have to start working out every day. I have to start focusing on me and my health. That very much can be this energy. Now, on the 18th and 19th, we have Mars forming a conjunction to the North Node. And I say this is when we all get fire under our ass because, the North Node is already giving us this huge desire to go after something new. And then Mars, which is our motivation, willpower, and drive. I mean, there's something very karmic coming in at this time, something very destined and fated. This is a day where we may all just have this internal drive to push forward with something. Now, once we get to the third week of May, on the 20th, we have the sun entering Gemini. We start Gemini season. So the sun is going to enter your second house of money, finances, and material possessions, also your values. As we get to the second half of May, all of this energy here in Taurus in your first house shifts into your second house. So the focus changes from you to then your money, your finances, your values, how you want to change that. What do you want to implement? What do you want to create new that could possibly be that you can gain, material. I can't think of the words. You know what I mean? You can actually bring some financial gains in, right? And I know that didn't make sense, but I'm sorry. On the 22nd, we will have Venus conjunct Jupiter. This is great. We have both benefic planets coming together in your first house. So this only happens, once a year or once really every 18 months because it takes Venus roughly 18 months to transit the zodiac. And then Jupiter's also So it's even more than 18 months. It's only about every year and a half. We have both benefic planets coming together. So you really want to be utilizing this energy. And then on the 23rd, we will have the full moon in Sagittarius and the sun forming a trine to Pluto. So the full moon in Sagittarius, think back to this is in your eighth house of your partner's finances, money coming in from outside resources, taxes, inheritance, also psychological healing and transformation. But think back to 6 months prior and the intentions that you set at the time of the new moon in Sagittarius. Now is when you can see those intentions come to fruition. And again, I will be posting new and full moon forecasts. As long as I was not able to post a full moon and Scorpio forecast or a weekly forecast the last time because I was having issues with my computer and I'm blaming it on the Mercury station. But the sun trine to Pluto can be really, really beautiful for transformation. So this, I think we're going to definitely see this collectively, but this can be really beautiful for your finances or even something around because the sun actually rules your fourth house of home and family, property, real estate. There could be something transforming in that area of life as well. And then we have Venus entering Gemini. So again, bringing more focus to that second house of money, finances, and values. On the 25th, we have Jupiter entering Gemini, which is huge. And I will be making a separate video going into this Jupiter and Gemini energy. But this is going to be great for you, Taurus. Jupiter is going to be in your second house of money and finances, which can really, this is the planet of abundance and the most benefic planet that will actually known as the Great Benefic in your money house. So we really want to utilize this energy over the next 12 months while we have Jupiter and Gemini. So this is a time to get serious about your finances. Now, on week 4, once we get to our final week of May, on the 29th, we have Mars forming a conjunction to Chiron. This is when there can be a trigger around our healing process and journey. There might be, something kind of coming in. So it is a day to just note and have that self-awareness that it could just be a difficult day where something's coming up around healing. On the 31st, we have Mercury forming a conjunction to Uranus. Now, this is where there can be a lot of anxious energy. Mercury is our mind, communication. It may be very hard on this day to kind of slow the mind down. I really recommend grounding, drinking a lot of water. Once we get to the end of May, having Mercury around Uranus. And then from May 30th to June 2nd, we are going to have Jupiter forming a trine to Pluto retrograde. So Pluto and Jupiter had a conjunction in 2020, the beginning of 2020. So remember how I mentioned when both planets come together, it's almost like a new moon for those planets. So there is something transforming for all of us. This is collective energy and individually when it has to do with this Jupiter-Pluto saga. So if we think back to 2020, what was implemented, what was started, what was going on, what were we all navigating individually and collectively, there is something transforming in that area of life. There's something really big coming in. This is major transformational energy. So we definitely want to be utilizing, this. And not only is Jupiter in your second house of money and finances, but Jupiter also rules your eighth house of money coming in from outside resources. So Jupiter being in your second house is really bringing in this transformational energy around finances. So we really want to be kind of utilizing that, Taurus. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you align with my energy and enjoy my content. And I would love to hear your astrology stories in the comments below, and I will connect with you in the next one.